All right, welcome back. It's been about 2.5 weeks now since I have first set up my Bobcat, which I made that previous video, and I want to just take you all through exactly what I've learned, what I've kind of achieved through rewards and through the Helium tokens, and what's worked, what has not worked, and kind of where I'm at right now with the same miner setup that I just showed you all. So, first off, I want to just, let you all know that, you know, I'm not here encouraging anybody to necessarily put money into Helium, whether it's buying tokens or investing in the miners. I have friends and new friends and family members everybody that's watches. Some of them are looking at, purchasing the miners. I'm happy to just kind of share what I did, why I did it. But I just kind of want, I'm not like trying to say whether you should or you shouldn't buy it. I'm just show you the research, and you should definitely conduct your own research before making that decision. So the Helium project to me is, I mean, there is literally not a single project in the entire world that is like Helium. There was one kind of competitor to Helium, but it's not even worth mentioning. And there's a real utility behind this project, which is definitely very different from a lot of the other blockchains that come out there. So I'm going to first show you where I'm at and what I've learned with my setup, and then I want to take you all through the map and through Helium Vision. So the first thing that I've learned is the importance of your antenna setup. Now, I'm going to show you first my favorite setup with the out-of-the-box antenna. So I have some images here that I'm going to show you. Now, this is the out-of-the-box antenna that comes with the miner. Now, if you are even possibly considering putting this on your balcony or on your roof, please be super, super careful. There have been a couple accidents I've seen already with people trying to install these on their roof. I live in an urban environment, and I don't want to tell you which city that I'm in, but there are a decent number of miners in my area. There's also a lot of interference. So if you're looking here at this image right now, this setup here, what I was doing when I first set this up, I told you I don't have even though I have a science background, I've only been working with helium, this whole project. Since I got this miner a couple weeks ago, I was thinking about it all winter time, and I guess I kind of got lucky with a couple of those projects that I had some earlier videos on with, Ape Swap and a couple of those early farming projects, and they did well. And one of the things I really liked about Bobcat is that you could purchase Bobcat with USDC, just on the blockchain with your same token. So that was pretty convenient. And back in February and March, I was just thinking, okay, well, there's no chance I'm ever going to get one of these things. It's just take forever. It's going to take forever, the waiting list and whatnot. And the more I learned about the Helium project, and I think that not only the importance of the project, but just the potential with it, I was like, why not? And so I was able to get mine. So when you set up the miner, and when you set up the antenna, the out-of-the-box antenna, I'm going to show you the two positions. Now, I have invested into some other accessories as far as, I do have other antennas now, and I have some other gear, but I kind of want to just first show you just the out-of-the-box antenna, because this did very well. Once I figured out, I'm going to show you this. So this is I have a balcony, of course, as you can see. So for the indoor position of this out-of-the-box antenna, I was able to, I'm going to show you that pic too. So the first thing I learned is I underestimated how important your antenna placement is, and just the amount of interference that exists literally everywhere. So I was basically saying, okay, well, the screen and whatnot, this is positioned on my table here. And I took a camera tripod because I did not want to throw a whole bunch of money into this, Because if any of you have bought these, you know they're not cheap, and the gear, the accessories all get very expensive. And I wanted to spend my first week just making the greatest use as possible of just what comes with the Bobcat. So around my apartment, I had some tripods and I have some microphone stands. And this is the tripod. I place this on my table, and you see here how this is the highest I could get it, and this was basically achieving a decent number of rewards in my place at night. And I was just kind of a little reluctant at first to put it on my balcony, and I thought that it wouldn't be such a big deal getting it outside. And the more I researched and studied just some of these various antennas and the different kinds of interference that exist in the city, I started to I was taking a journal, and I was basically moving the antenna every 4 hours, sometimes 2 hours. And if you're doing this, you're allowed to do discovery 5 times a day. I mean, personally, I know they say they're gonna, it's free right now to do discovery with the app. Personally, I would pay for it to do more than 5 times a day, because I was running out every day of discovery. So at first I was doing it every 2 hours, put it to position, tweak the height, 2 hours, do discovery, see what I was getting, what kind of results I was getting, and I was using my journal to just write down those results. And I was quite amazed at the variations of the results that I would get from the slightest little tweak of the position. So I kind of found this to be the ultimate indoor position in my apartment. Um, so then what I really wanted to try to do was just from the research, it was basically saying that there was, hold on a second, sorry about that there was just the results that you get from being outside are just extraordinary. So I was also a little reluctant and kind of nervous with my neighborhood and my neighbors watching me, putting it out there, and then I was just like, screw it, let's just try this. So I started doing this in 2 hour increments on my balcony, and documenting the results. And I immediately saw basically it was about the first day was about so once it was on my balcony, if you see here, I was testing these various positions here. Sorry about that. And this was the angle that really peaked as far as using the stock antenna. Now, if you notice, I actually did get the antenna over the balcony. And this gave me like an additional, it was about a 40% increase just getting over the balcony. Now, if you notice here, I did test getting on the railing and on that brick wall itself. And once I got it over the balcony, that was the peak of the stock antenna. And I was getting a little nervous having it over the balcony. And just the more I researched about just how the interference was working and how to really get to my optimum level rewards, I needed to, what I had to do was find a way to keep my my tripod or my mic stand. It needed to be locked down in a way that I was not worrying about it as much. So at this point, I still didn't want to, I didn't want to buy any additional gear. And I'm going to show you what really kind of changed it for me. I have a picture of it. It's these two dumbbells. These two dumbbells, these were amazing weights. If you look at it here, I just put these dumbbells on my mic stand, and that thing just literally it would not move. It wasn't shaking anymore, and I feel much more comfortable with it. And that's kind of been the optimum position for me using that stock antenna. Now, I did I did eventually. There's another antenna that I'm using now, which I'll show you, and maybe probably won't get into it as much, um, in this video. But during the during the setup, the main thing that I learned was to really just scientifically test every position in your place. It's I'm working from home a lot of days, so I would basically put a timer on Alexa, and I was doing them. I initially started doing 2-hour increments, changing the position, then doing discovery, and watching my rewards and changing it. But I think 2 hours is really. I would recommend doing 4 hours so you really can gather enough data to figure out how to get to that optimum level rewards. And then for me, look, I mean, obviously these dumbbells are not required or anything, but that really not only to help stabilize it, it's also just giving me a little more peace of mind when I'm leaning it over the balcony. So and I am in a city, so I needed to get. I realized that I really wanted to use an antenna that was omnidirectional, and I was spending a lot of time just researching how different antennas work, and I found that this antenna, which I'll show you, well, this is the one I used indoors. It's still the same company, this HNTenna, and there's an outdoor version of the same antenna, which is what I'm using right now, and it is awesome. So this is the antenna I have right now. This has achieved the highest results for me currently. Now, the dumbbell position, with my mic stand. My neighbors look at me, across the street. They give me the look. They see me messing around with with my helium miner, but it's all good. Now it's, I think the first, I was getting a little bit like thinking, what are they going to do? Call the police? I mean, it's an antenna. It's like a TV antenna. So I saw that there's another antenna around, so it's the same thing, So they're kind of watching me, see what am I doing? What is this crazy guy doing? But I have it over my balcony now, and it is awesome. So this is the outdoor version of the HNTenna. Now, if you do get this or any antenna like it, so I have electrical tape, just to ground the cabling around it. But I also have a cable. I got a couple cables that I was just to get that into my apartment, because you really need to be careful with that miner, putting that miner outside. I saw a statement from Bobcat about putting that miner outside. So you could do it. I do it a little bit at nights. If you look at this other picture I have, I'm taking shoe boxes. I'm trying to get it up really high. I have bought more gear right now, but I was really trying to spend that first week just maximizing this, maximizing the miner without having to invest too much additional money in it. So one of the things that I did was I was taking a little table out there. Let me just try to grab this picture so I can show you. And I was stacking up. Where'd it go? I've got too many things open right now. Basically, I was stacking up boxes, and then I was trying to insulate the miner itself, putting it in a cardboard box. But it's just not smart to do it, and they're highly advising against it. And yeah, I bought the there's Rack actually makes like an outdoor container for the for that hotspot, because I have another miner too. But in my area, I'll just kind of take you over here to the site. And you guys should all check this out. And when you're going into when you're kind of, I know some of you have already ordered the miners, some of you are looking at ordering miners, and some of you have them. Some of you are thinking about ordering them, thinking about where you're going to place them. You should definitely go to this site. It's awesome. You really got to figure out, like, if you go here, like here's Richmond. So if you're in the Richmond area, if you look at downtown Richmond, you see all these green hotspots here, right? So if we go down here, we can see the reward scale. If you're not inside of one of these, one of these hexagons here, let's say you're outside of one of these hexagons, I think that, or depending how far you are from one of these hexagons, personally, if you do decide to order these miners, let's say, if you live close to Richmond, now I've ordered a few of them. Right now I have 3 of them, and I ordered a couple more. If you can, because I was also kind of going through the architecture and the design of how I wanted to lay these out and how I wanted to test them. So I'm basically, I don't live in Richmond, but I am in an urban environment that is, similar to Richmond, where I'm in an area where I'm right at a 1, but and I have another of my miners, which I'll kind of show you how that's going in another video, that is around a point 0.6. My third one, I am currently testing and deploying at a family member's place that is about they're 6 miles from my apartment. So I can hit it, but that's the kind of a whole other situation why I haven't set that up yet. I set it up, but they're completely out of, I can hit it though, and I can see it from my balcony already. And that's where I'm using. That's another reason why I got the HNTenna, the outdoor model. But if you're living inside of the city here, and you're right downtown, the HNTenna, which is actually it is an omnidirectional antenna. Some of these other antennas that claim they're omnidirectional, whether they are or they aren't, the HNTenna works just really awesome, and it's really getting me great. I'm getting great performance right now of it. Living right in DC. But if you were living just way out in the country, let's say you're all the way out in, like this guy over here, this lone warrior over here down in wherever this is, Mechanicsville or Quinton. So he's the only one here. Now, even though he's got a 1 here, he's the only one. Personally, one of the, if I thought initially I might try to deploy in an environment like this. If he could get, another 2 here, that would be ideal. I think that 4 is the max in one of these hexagons. So after you hit 4, you just start splitting the rewards. So, so it kind of depends on like where you are as well as the terrain. If you're on the ground, it's really, ideally you want to stay away from the ground for sure. If you can get up on a higher floor, that is definitely ideal. And some of the, if you want to get one of those tells the DBI up to like 8, if you're way out there. But I've seen some people that have those, those the higher DBI antennas that are way out there, and you still have to be strategic on how you deploy it because you can overshoot, entire areas of where you're trying to actually connect to. So I actually have a buddy over in Canada that lives in an area just like this. That was able to get a few of them, and he's doing great. So it kind of depends on where you are, especially your elevation. And right now I'm currently, I'm kind of like, my place right now. I'm like right in the heart of downtown. I'm pretty happy with how I'm doing with my primary, the one that I'm showing you and talking about right now. That one's doing great. And the one at my buddy's place that's also downtown, it's around a 0.6, where we're witnessing each other, and but his is behind a screen, so it's not doing as well, but it's doing okay. And then the third one that I'm testing is the one I was saying about 6 miles out, and that one just starting to test. So he wants to, he wanted me to do it on his Wi-Fi, to do the sync on the Wi-Fi, which definitely, if you can avoid doing the sync on the Wi-Fi, it'll save you a lot of time. But it's it's over at his place. That's what he wanted to do. So we started the sync there, and it's taking a little bit. So for sure, if you can connect it to the Ethernet, that's definitely ideal. But I am definitely, I'm pretty content with where I am right now with the primary miner, and I'm going to try to optimize the outdoor setup over at the other location. And I've basically purchased some other gear to get into my door. Like I'll show you, actually I can't show you right now, but I will show you like the wiring to get it outside. So if you notice here, like I'm on a, so I'm on a balcony. I have a balcony, but the wire to get inside of my apartment, to close that door, You got to be sensitive with this wire. I have a few different cables that I have tested. So it's if you get too long of a cable, like you're definitely going to notice some performance degradation with that with your antenna. I guess regardless of how good that antenna is. But so I have a special flat cable that I literally just got it today. I'm going to set it up. That one I'll probably document and it just fits right in the window. This way I can completely close that door and close that and have this cable run through and because right now I'm still having to be kind of sensitive with this cable, so it's kind of interesting. Like, looking forward to testing that. But I think so far I've got the position that I'm pretty content with, and this is weatherproof. So you do need to by grounding the wire. So I have electrical tape that I've used over it, but so I'm about good with this first setup here, and I'm going to start gathering more data on the other two setups, and testing some of the new gear I got. Like I got this outdoor kit, and I'm still getting comfortable leaving it in the balcony overnight. So last night, so what I do at nights personally is, and it's also kind of like, look, the neighbors they kind of look at me as like the crazy dude, I'm setting this stuff up on my balcony, and I'm always tweaking it, So every 2 or 4 hours, I'm doing it less now because I'm very content with how the position I have on the balcony. So I was getting conscious with it, how I'm touching, how I'm tweaking it, and I didn't want to leave it hanging over the ledge overnight. So what I do is I bring it in slightly and I lean over the chair, but I'm leaving it now overnight. I definitely see the difference when it's outside. So if you have that potential option, I highly recommend it. But again, I'm in this urban environment here, and yeah, like a really good friend of mine has a few of these, and he's out in the country, and he's using the stock antenna, and he's able to set up a whole line of sight position because they're able to see each other. So you really got to test it yourself if you do, and to kind of come up with your own results. So yeah, I hope that helped a little bit. I hope that wasn't confusing. I didn't want to give you too much information. I just kind of wanted to show you the setup and kind of where I am. And as far as the rewards, I mean, the rewards are they're doing very well right now. I mean, I don't want to be like, I've been in other groups too where people start talking about numbers and what they're making and how many tokens they've earned, this and that, and I don't really, I'd rather not say, but it's doing well. I mean, I've almost earned, yeah, I'm pretty close to earning the amounts in helium of a miner, of about a miner. I'm about there. So, but yeah, I hope that helped a little bit, and if you have any questions, just shoot it on over in the YouTube channel. And yeah, I mean, I'm curious to hear how I know some of you have just started to you ordered your miners, you're waiting for your miners to come in. So kind of let me know how it goes. And I could talk about why I chose these two antennas separately. I don't want to kind of like just have a whole video about talking about the technology and why this, why did that. I just kind of want to show you I just kind of want to have you all visualize what I've set up so far and where I'm at, and hopefully it either helps you make decisions or not make decisions, or learn from my own mistakes. So yeah, I'll leave it at that.